All right, hello everyone. Welcome to the vlog. Today, as I do the vlog, we're actually going to be drinking a sample that Mr. Wu sent me. We're going to be talking about yenchas today. Mr. Wu is one of my two main yencha people. Go away, Wong. So interesting thing about Mr. Wu that I'm learning. So packaging little these, usually fucking ignore them. Fucking ignore these packagings. Especially from Wu Xian, you can go, there are stores in Wu Xian where you just buy packaging like this. And packaging will say anything from just simple rogue way to say like cow fence dip, award winning, single tree, yada yada. And a lot of makers, and they just grab whatever's there. You know, they're not always, oh, my thing, I can't get a package that says award winning because my tea is not award winning. I can't get a package that says New Long Kong because my tea is not New Long Kong. I didn't really use my Jianjiang for this. They just get whatever, you know. In fact, there was a time, funny story, when I first started selling the heirloom, the Fu'an heirloom varietal aged white tea on the website, the aged by Moon, you know the one. Somebody bought it once, and I had gotten packaging. Waited a few days, packaging came in, and it was the wrong packaging. And I wanted to send it out, so instead of getting more packaging, I went to a local store and grabbed some packaging. Except since I lived in Huangshan, the bag said in Chinese, Huangshan Mao Feng. And I was like, whatever, they can't read Chinese. So I sent it to them, and then like a little while later, I see it comes up on Reddit, where someone's like, what does my packaging say? And they're like, I got a white tea, what does my packaging say? And everybody was like, dude, your packaging says Huangshan Mao Feng. Are you sure you got a white tea? And then I had to chime in and I was like, yes, that's me. I ran out of packaging. It is white tea, ignore the bag. I remember that. So, and you see it a lot on Reddit. Somebody like sends a picture of packaging and they're like, what's my tea? And if the packaging says anything, if it says anything, which it sometimes doesn't, it sometimes just says gift tea, Chinese tea, famous tea. If it says anything, there's not a guarantee that it's going to be correct. But Mr. Wu, and Mr. Wu is the maker behind all my high roast stuff, all my high roast Shui Xian that's coming back to the website, my high roast rogues, all my custom roasted stuff is from Mr. Wu. So I just got some more high roasted Shui Xian. We're going to talk about that next. And he sent me some samples. I feel pretty special. I feel pretty smart. Let me tell you why I feel smart. So one of the bags, he sent me 3 different types of tea. All the roasts were about this. So, you know, kind of like, I call this a light roast. I call this a light roast. And this is, we talk about a light medium. We talk about different, you know, light roast, heavy roast, meaning, where's my tea pad? There it is. Light roast, heavy roast, meaning different things for different peoples. I call this a light roast, light medium roast. That's good. I'm gonna talk about Mr. Wu too. We're gonna talk about Shui Xian for a few minutes. Oh, sorry, we're gonna talk about yenchas for a few minutes. Yeah, that's a light roast to me. We're gonna talk about that in a second. Okay, so one of the packages I got, I tasted it, and it was funny. On my Instagram, I just posted a video, and to be fair, the video is technically acted out. Well, obviously I'm filming, so it wasn't actually my first sip, but it is a direct reenactment of what had just happened. I had gotten these samples from Mr. Wu. I was working on something, and I said, okay, let me brew up one of these samples. I saw it was a light roast. I was like, whatever. So So I pour it, I'm working on the thing, I pour it, and I take a sip and I go, wait a minute. I was like, oh, that was interesting. So I'm like, oh, this is a very unique flavor. This is a very unique flavor. A little bit sour, but not like bad sour, kind of tart, really interesting aroma. And there's something about the flavor, and I can taste the cultivar in there, but I couldn't really put my finger on it. And I was like, you know what? I think this is Bai Wei Xiang. And I was like, I think it's Bai Wei Xiang because I recognize this flavor, but I don't know for sure, and so that probably means it's Bai Wei Xiang because I can recognize Shui Xian, I can recognize Rogue Wei, and then I think the number 3 tea that I've had the most over my years is Bai Wei Xiang. And so I ask him and I go, hey, like, what tea is this? And he goes, a Da Hong Pao. And I was like, damn, I was wrong. And then I say, okay, because so Da Hong Pao, by the way, these days refers to a mix of teas. It's a blended tea. It's like a recipe of teas So I say, okay, what's the cultivars? And he says, what was it? It was Rogue Wei. I actually do want to check because he's able to tell me, you know. What did he say? It was a Rogue Wei. Yeah. Come on. Here you go. Ugh, my phone is slow. Oh yeah. Jin Mudan, which is I have a white and a red of Jin Mudan, Rogue Wei, and Bai Wei Xiang. And I was like, oh, I tasted the Bai Wei Xiang. I recognized the Bai Wei Xiang. So I think that's cool. I think I felt special for being able to recognize the Bai Wei Xiang. But I also it's a cool way. He got a really cool flavor. You know, the Bai Wei Xiang's a unique tea. The Jin Mudan's a unique tea. Rogue Wei is kind of standard. Really, really cool stuff. All right, so that was Mr. Wu. Ooh, plummy, like oh my god, that's delicious. God damn, Mr. Wu. Fuck, that's good. Holy shit. Like, so this is a Rogue Wei, an award-winning Rogue Wei, according to the package, and I do trust his packages. Award-winning Rogue Wei, and also Mr. Wu. Okay, Mr. Wu, by the way, specializes in Rogue Wei and Da Hong Pao. A little bit of Shui Xian, but really Da Hong Pao, Rogue Wei is his focus, what he's most successful at, and he's won a ton of awards for his Rogue Weis. A ton of awards for his Rogue Weis. He's very well off for himself, and it's cool because I've known Mr. Wu since 2017, before he kind of started winning awards, and so I've kind of watched him accumulate these awards and more, and yeah, so it's been cool to watch him do that, and to know him. We have a very good relationship. This is delicious. Speaking of Rogue Weis, so one thing, as you see, we're dealing with another light brew, and you guys know me, and I talk a lot about heavy roasts, but I don't, as much as I talk about heavy roasts, and I like heavy roasts, I don't want to take away from light roasts. Light roasts can really offer a lot that heavy roasts can't. For example, there's this, you know, the aromas and the complexities in here. The complexities in there, and that plumpness, and that there's a mouthfeel, very like aromatic but lively mouthfeel. It kind of goes like that. You know, it does a lot of this in your mouth. You can't really get that with heavy roasts. Heavy roasts, you are going to get a little bit less complexity. The flavors are going to be more bold, and in that bolder flavors, you get a lot of cool stuff you can't get from the lighter roasts. But lighter roasts do really offer something, and that's quite good. It's quite good. Rogue is not my favorite Yansha if we're really going, tit for tat. It is a little bit too aromatic for me, but it's really good. It is good. It is still good, and this is a good one. So this might not. They might both hit the website. We might be getting some some Yenshas on the website next month. We'll see. What we're definitely getting this month, Yensha-wise, is I have the notes of what I want to talk about here. So if you ever see me look down here, I'm looking at the notes. In the next few days, and hopefully it should be today. Okay, today, which is the 31st. So by the 1st, I should put, if I'm being good, I will have put the Shui Xian, High Roast Shui Xian on the website. The High Roast Shui Xian is something that I offered before. It's the coffee liqueur Shui Xian. It was really good. It was really It was popular, but I wasn't as popular. I think a lot of the people who have found me recently in the last few months, they discovered me toward the end of me having the Shui Xian or after I had ran out. But those who had it loved it, spoke very highly of it. And then originally I ran out. This was a custom order. I said, hey, I want a Shui Xian True Cliff at a high roast. And Mr. Wu, because we have this relationship and he knows what I like, he said, I got you. And he delivered. But then after I finished, I was like, I'm in the white tea region. I want to focus on white teas. And I said, I don't want to buy more. I want to just keep moving forward, keep exploring new things, new flavors, yada, yada. But then recently, I pay attention a lot to Discord. Basically every day I'll just go into Discord and in the search bar I'll type sweetest stew. And I'll just see what's being said. Who's tasting what do they like, what are people suggesting, what are they interested in, what's not really their cup of tea, get some feedback. And recently on Discord and even on the YouTube comments a little bit, the High Roast Shui Xian kept coming up. Just kept coming up. And I have since taking off my website, I have run out of every other Yensha, some Yensha lists on the website. And I said, you know what? I know Mr. Wu has 6 pounds left. Let me get some Yensha. Let me put it back on. And because also in the meantime, I had tried to go to Wu Shan and find some more high roasts, and it wasn't there. I wasn't getting it. I didn't find what I liked. So I said, let me just put this on the website. So it's back. It's back. I did a tasting on Instagram just to make sure it's the same, and it is. It has, because I custom ordered this 2 years ago. And so in those 2 years, it's calmed down. And this is the cool thing about high roasts. And one of the reasons people do high roast teas is because high roast flavors stay. So while the texture is smoother and it's a little bit more lighter texture-wise and body-wise than it was 2 years ago, it still has that bold flavor, which is really nice. So yeah, that's coming back to the website. And I'm tasting these now, and I'm just like, these might have to come back to the website too. So these might have to come to the website too. I mean, not even back. So we will see. That is fucking flavor. That is a good flavor. Really good flavor. So this is Rogue. Rogue is the most popular Yensha right now. And one of the reasons it's so popular is because it does have this Chinese cinnamon flavor. I never really got the cinnamon flavor until I had Chinese cinnamon, which is different from cinnamon in the West. It's a different type of cinnamon. And then I had Chinese cinnamon. I was like, oh yeah, there it is. I was like, okay, here's the Rogue. Rogue means cinnamon in Chinese. So yeah, it has this really, really distinct cinnamon flavor, and for the maker, the cinnamon flavor is very easy to achieve. And this is one of the things that affects how much teas cost and how popular they are, is how easy is a taste profile achieved. In the case of Rogué, it's very easy to get this Rogué flavor, so it makes it very easier for the makers to make, and they can make more, and people can appreciate it easier. This is why it's popular. This is why generally Rogués, depending on the location, can be pretty affordable and still be delicious. Good bang for your buck. Yeah, so this one has a really interesting flavor. All right, Chimins. Chimins were interesting this month. So you guys know I kind of went back and forth on Chimins for a while. I was having some issues with Chimins. I talked about it a little bit last time. So I got more Chimin Maofeng. Sorry, no, Chimin Gongfu. I got more Chimin Gongfu. Okay, so the Chimin Gongfu is no longer a daily drinker. I have taken it out of that category. The daily drinker, when I first got the Chimin Gongfu, it was a little bit harsh, it was a little bit smoky, a little bit tannic, it was rough, it was, it was good, but also clear flaws. I just got more, much better, much cleaner, really. I think that's kind of the main thing. It's cleaner, and I don't know if it's a aging thing, or my guess is that it's a different year. This is maybe last year's. I keep forgetting to ask. It's cleaner. The quality is better. So since the quality is better, I did have to raise the price. And that makes it no longer a daily drinker, because the price is higher, and also the quality is better. It's still good. It's still good. Still easy drinking, but I had to raise the price. I had to raise the price for a few reasons. Been thinking a lot about price recently, trying to find the good price. And I mentioned before, the Chimin Gongfu was a tea that the markup was much too low. From a business standpoint, it was much too low. And as I take away shipping, I now have to be more careful about how I price things. And so yeah, that's so I had to raise that price. But the quality is better, so I think it's a good price for what the quality is. I think there's a good match there. Yeah, so that's good. It is, yeah. Okay, monthly sales. Monthly sales are changing. Next month, monthly sales, I'm going to put some more expensive teas on the monthly sales. Last time for the monthly sales, I did really cheap teas, and then I gave them a discount. And in the short term, not a great idea. Not a great idea, because you can imagine somebody got an ounce of tea, they paid $7, no shipping. That was, yeah. Quite a few people got that, which I'm okay with, but I'm like, all right, I might have to be careful. Yeah, you understand. I lost money on quite a few packages there, which is fine in the short term. Because I will say, it's fine in the short. I'm okay with this in the short term. In my head, I'm calling this marketing budget. I'm calling it a marketing budget. I'm calling it free samples. Because people, holy shit, in the last 2 or 3 days, there were 2, if not 3 people, 3 people, I think, yeah, 3 people, 3, maybe even 4, I have to check, are talking to me about getting bulk of the watermelon white, for example. Somebody just got like 400 grams. I just got that order today. I don't even know how the fuck I'm gonna pack that. I have some ideas. Like, do I do 4 of these, or do I do 2 big bags? I think 4 of these might be the way to go. Yeah, I like that. 4 of those, I think. Ooh, if I could seal it, that would be awesome. No, it's in Reach it. But yeah, so that's that. Yeah, so that's so. I'm okay with it. I'm not complaining, you know, but it's the things you just think about. You think about these things. We're gonna come back to that in a second. Back to shipping in a second. Um, but next month we're looking at putting the high roast Shui Xian as a monthly sale. The Jinmudan white tea. The Jinmudan white tea was honestly the original tea I wanted to put on the monthly sale. This is the one that I wanted people's attention focused on because I think it's really interesting and it hasn't been ordered enough. It has not been ordered enough in my opinion. Partially, I think for the price, because of the price. Bless me. But I think now that I think about it, I have to double check. I wonder how visible it is on. It might not be so visible on the website. I think sometimes on the website, I've done a lot of changes in a lot of the categories. You know, at first I organized things by region, and then I organized them by tea type, and the way you do that is you change the tag. Well, before, when I put a new tea on the website, I had to put a little tag Fu Ding, and then Shopify said, okay, here's all the teas with the tag Fu Ding. And then when I changed the categories, I said I had to switch all the tags to white tea. So sometimes there's like a tea that I forgot to switch the tags or got left behind. So that might be also a thing with the Jinmudan white tea. Because I think it's an interesting tea. I think people should try it at least one time. It is interesting, white tea. Yeah. So that's going to be on the website. The high roast Shui Xian is going to be on the website because I want people to try that because I think people are really going to like that. I don't know about number 3. I don't know about number 3 yet. Maybe just 2. Maybe just 2 teas this month. I can't really think of a third off the top of my head. Yeah. Subscriptions are going out this month or next month. We'll talk about that next month. Shipping. Once again, I have my things I want to talk about here. I have a note. I have something shipping, and then I have stories. And okay, right, that's what I meant. Okay, let's talk about shipping. We're gonna end. This is the last thing we're gonna talk about. Thing number 1, I'm considering. I had the idea last night to do free shipping over $15. Over $15. Because what that basically eliminates is people getting. What that eliminates is the shipping is people getting one tea. So it's kind of like, well, sorry, that's a weird. Basically, my biggest issue with shipping so far has been with free shipping so far is the people who only get one tea, which is fine. It's okay to get one tea. And that's why I got to be careful my wording here. But that's a straight loss, and that's a pretty big loss, and it's pretty common. One gaiwan, 1 ounce, one $7 ounce. And so I think by starting a free shipping at over $15, first of all, that still leaves a lot of teas. You can just get 1 ounce and be fine. But it kind of encourages people to get a gaiwan and like 2 samples of tea. A gaiwan and 1 ounce of a cheap. Like, just get that little extra. Get that little extra. Get 1 ounce of that one cheap tea, and then get a sample of this other tea. It's shipping. So I've been keeping track of my financials much better. I've been keeping much better track of finances, in and out, cash flow. And I will say, free shipping is something I would like to do it, but at the end of the day, if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. I've talked about shipping over $30. I think that's good too. Though I don't love that. I do like free shipping because allows people to just really try that one tea because it's stupid. It's kind of stupid. There's a one tea that you're interested in, and it's a $10 tea, and then you have to pay $10 for shipping. And then it's kind of like, well, I'm paying the same thing for the tea and for shipping. And even at $10, that doesn't even cover all the shipping. Shipping on average is $20. It can be lower, and it's sometimes usually higher. So that's kind of silly. I just think that's silly, and I know that turns a lot of people off. And so one of the reasons I did free shipping was to people can just try that one tea. They just try that one tea. Yeah. So I'm playing with the idea of shipping under free shipping over $15. Still gives people the opportunity to try that one tea, but it does cut away from me, from a business point, it does cut away the big losses of like they got a $5 tea. And you know, $5 sometimes, yeah, they got a $5 tea and that's it. They got one guy one and that's it. Get the one guy one and just get an ounce of another tea, and then you're good. That's it. I'm not asking for a lot here. There's not a high demand. So yeah, shipping is much faster now. I will say I'm seeing some of these ship times recently. Shipping is back to normal. It really slowed down over Christmas. It's back to normal. People are getting it in 2 weeks. There have been some mistakes. Some of the mistakes are not mine. This made me happy. The shipper has made some mistakes. She's put the wrong tracking slip onto the wrong box. The little mix up there's, and I know because I can see my order number on the box. But it's fine. Everyone makes mistakes. And I will try and get better about the chart. Yeah. It's something I mentioned this week. Oh, here's the other. Stories. That's what I meant by stories. Once again, I'm reading my notes. I will try and get better about the chart. It's something that I keep forgetting that people check. I keep thinking it's something that people don't really check. But then every now and then somebody messages me and they're like, "Hey, did you update the chart?" And I'm like, "Okay, people check." My Instagram stories. When it comes to shipping, Instagram stories are a good way to see progress. I try to, at the end of every night, do a little Instagram story as I'm walking the dogs and just kind of give updates through the day. And usually those updates are shipping. Usually those updates are shipping has gone out. Something's delayed. It's a little like looking at my Instagram stories will give you a better idea. I don't say order numbers individually, but I'll say, shipping is delayed. I'll say all orders have gone out. Shippers received packages today. I gave, that sort of stuff. Yeah, and of course, always email me for everything else. Take another sip from my Jianjiang. Realized I could have turned, there's a light over the camera, I could have turned that on. Feels real cinnamony. Rich, dark, like a dark cinnamon. There's something like dark, but not like red dark, like not mahogany, but like cranberry. Allspice, star anise, this sort of dark to it, like dark, heavy, but still also very clean. That is a very good tea. Yeah. All right. So, recap. 1. Qimeng Gong Fu is on the website still. It is a higher price, but it is also a higher quality. So that's that. New monthly teas are going to start tomorrow. So the Shui Xian and the Shui Xian and the by the Jinmudan White, which is a tea that gets overlooked a lot, 20% off. New Shui Xian, these might come to the website. These are really good. So I might get some more yanchas in the next few months. I do think I am going to try shipping is free over $15. Shipping, I will try and keep the chart up. If you follow me on Instagram and you have a shipment go out and you ordered something, Instagram stories are a good way to have a little bit more in the know, but always feel free to message me. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you very much. I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you next time.